John, today we're going to look at the 25 litre Acuspray from Technique. You've a big knowledge on sprayers. What is your involvement with sprayers?
I would debate a lot of knowledge on sprayers. I've been in the past an agricultural training board, now Lancer instructor for spraying. I've been an assessor for NPTC, now part of City and Guilds, for very nearly 40 years. And been dealing with pesticides ever since the pesticide legislation appeared in 1985-6.
Goodness. So this sprayer, who would you see using a sprayer like this?
Very likely to be groundsmen with maybe cricket tables, bowling greens, maybe small golf courses, large gardens,
yes,
and small estates. So quite a versatile piece of equipment.
So this arrived in a box. How did you have to put it together?
We didn't have to do an awful lot to it. The push handle was folded down. It hinges here, so you can obviously fold it up for storage. All we had to do was take these bolts out and assemble it. All we then had to do was at the front fit the nozzles. There is a filter in there, so we had to put the filter in. The nozzle fittings are bayonet, so you twist, and it is quite tricky to get the nozzles pointing where you want them to go. That's a little
Trial and error.
trial and error.
Yes, yes, okay. So perhaps you could talk us through the main features of this sprayer.
Main features are, you've got obviously the push handle, you've got a plastic 25 litre capacity tank, you've got a filler point where you remove the lid. There is a filter basket underneath that we can see in a minute. It's got 4 quite sturdy pneumatic wheels, and the handbook says what pressure they should be at. And at the front you have what I would call a boom with 3 deflector nozzles fitted to it, which apparently give an effective spraying width of 1 metre, which is very convenient.
Yes, yes indeed.
If we tipped it up, we can have a look underneath.
Okay.
And here we see the workings. The 2 wheels, bigger wheels at the front, will, when pushing, operate a belt drive to the pump. But it is drawn out of the tank through this filter, and you can undo the clear plastic, take the filter out and clean that. It comes through the pipe into the pump and up to the 3 nozzles. And what is quite interesting is, apart from the fact that there is protection over the pipe and it's slightly recessed, the nozzle fittings have a diaphragm check valve, which means when you stop pushing, it will stop spraying completely.
Very good.
Which is a good feature. When you push it back or pull it backwards, it does not operate the pump. The pump only operates when you are moving forwards.
Okay. And to use it,
we have to calibrate it, just like any piece of application equipment.
right,
If we take the lid off, you can see there's a filter basket, which would need to be in whenever you are filling it with liquid. You can take that out to clean it. So we would need to fill it to a certain point, and I'm suggesting we fill it just to the base of the filter basket.
right,
What we then need to do is, I have 100 metres marked out. It's
Right.
actually 50.
yes,
So we go down and back. We push it the 100 metres spraying. and then we measure back in how much liquid has been used. That will then tell us what the total output is.
Right.
So it's a very simple method of calibration.
And this is important because different products will require different volumes to be sprayed, and because people walk at different paces.
Very much so. It is pedestrian, therefore whatever calibration result you get, it is unique to the person.
Of course.
So what we're doing is walking at a steady, consistent pace for 100 metres. The aim is to maintain a consistent, not only speed, but consistent spray pattern. So I measured out 5 litres of water to top back up to the original 10 litre mark. I have put back in 4.4 litres. That means I have used 4.4 litres over 100 square metres, which equates to 440 litres per hectare, and you would check the product label requirements to see whether that matches the label requirements.
So it came with a handbook, John. How useful is it?
It's quite useful, bearing in mind it is a relatively straightforward spray applicator. It gives us the information that we need to understand how it works, and it has calibration information, and from what we have achieved today, it's pretty accurate and we've met the requirements.
What do you feel are the positive points about this machine, and are there any negatives?
Positive, for me, the push handle is the right height. The wheels and tyres allow it to be pushed very easily. It does cover the ground. The boom at the front, the nozzles are even spaced. They produce an even spray pattern and mutually overlap. In terms of negatives, there are very few. The filter basket, I feel, is just a little shallow because you do get splashback from that when you're filling. And really, that's about it.
So overall?
Overall, if I was my own head gardener, I would be happy to have this in the shed.
That's terrific. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
you.